To Wednesday night, 8 o'clock. I know we missed, because of the holidays, but we're going to do it on Wednesday nights at 8. And we are going to do our NFL picks because there's nothing going on for college that Shane knows of, because we'll wait till all the bowls come in, because Shane right now is on the road, as you guys can tell. So Shane is in the house. Shane, how you doing?
Doing great.
Well, that's awesome, Shane. We got
better than my picks.
Well, yes, mine too. Freight Train from the Steelers realm. Freight Train, how you doing this evening?
Oh, wonderful. Just peachy.
Yeah, we are so melancholy tonight.
Yeah.
And last but not least, bringing out the melancholiness in our whole podcast is the smartest man in Philly, Mr. Rich Smoke. Rich, how you doing?
Great.
We are just sad sacks.
I miss the days when football was the worst part of my day. Watching your team choke so bad was the worst part. And I'm not gonna lie, Monday night was tough. It was tough, but honestly, Monday day was way harder. So I was like, you know what? I could really use a win tonight just to offset how shitty my day's been. Then they lose on top of it. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck tomorrow. Fuck Tuesday. Tuesday was awful. Tuesday, and then my Tuesday was really bad. So Monday day, awful. The 41 Eagles win, kind of offset a little bit, be nice, right? Oh, God forbid. No, that's not going to happen. Take an L during the day, take an L Monday night, take an L on Tuesday. We're just going to keep it on rolling.
But you had Monday. Me and Freight Train had Saturday night that made our fucking weekend all shitty.
Mm-hmm. Well, you guys have been having shitty Saturdays
Mom.
for
I didn't
almost
mean to
the whole
swear.
Year.
Hi, Mom. Well, listen, it's been bad, yeah.
That's the thing. You guys have, you kind of had us all coming a little bit. I mean, you lose, back-to-back worst teams of each conference. Then you play a team who's not very good, don't get me wrong, but better than the 2-10 teams. It's just tough. And the Colts are on fire right now. Stain Steichen.
I know.
I tell you, don't sleep. If you watch the Eagles,
we didn't even give them a fight. That's the thing. It wasn't competitive.
Offensively, the Colts look good. I mean, overall. I mean, you got to remember, Stain Steichen was the major reason why we looked so good last year.
We played their backups.
Yeah, but exactly. But that goes to show
you their backups.
But see, the thing is, he is a great coach, though. He's a modern-day coach. He's a young guy's coach. He has a great game plan. For example, look at Philly last year. Look at Philly this year. The only major differences on offense? The play calling is absolute dog shit this year. The Colts are playing way better than they should be. I mean, no Jonathan Taylor. If I told you when the season started, their highly drafted quarterback, their star running back, half their defense was going to be hurt, and they were still going to be a positive team making the playoffs, you would have laughed in my goddamn face. Yeah, there's no fucking way. That play calling is great coaching.
They also lost their number one receiver and their second running back.
Yep.
Saturday's game, and we still got our asses stomped. So how did we do?
So I didn't finish it. I think I was on the last pick, which is the Eagles game. It looks like Bubba, Shane, and I took the Eagles, which is a big L.
Yes.
We've already gone over that. Again, I was trying to throw it together. I believe that the winners of the week were Freight Train. Actually, I think Freight Train won it because of the Eagles game. So Freight Train did finish with the best record by one game over Shane. Me and Bubba, we tied for a game below that because the Eagles. Now, if the Eagles would have won,
you would have won.
Freight Train would have had the worst week out of anybody, believe it or not. Wow. That would have bumped me up. That would have bumped you up. That would have bumped Shane up. Shane would have had the best week. And then we would have had the second best, and Freight Train would have had the worst week. So goes to show you how fast that can flip.
It's so minuscule.
The margin of error.
The picks now. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pennsylvania teams. Thank you, Pennsylvania teams.
Well, first of all, you picked Pittsburgh. I don't know why the fuck you would do that. Even Freight Train took the Colts. So I mean, Bubba will never pick against.
I won't pick another team. I won't pick against.
Bubba in the back of his mind is like, this Steelers about to get smoked. I'm taking Pittsburgh by 17. That's just how Bubba is. You know.
Well, I need to roll something up and take some Quaaludes and get on with my day after these lovely 3 weeks, and actually since the Cleveland game, and it's just got 3 weeks, and I'm ready to we don't deserve anything, and I'll talk about that later when we talk about the Steelers. But hey, Craig from Patton, thank you very much, and Merry Christmas to you. And he is an Eagles fan also, so
you know what, Craig? Just in case you missed any of this, just so you know, Craig. Don't let anybody get you all upset. Jalen Hurts looks like dog shit. Maybe he'll turn around at some point. Maybe he won't. But the one difference between
you're on the wrong podcast to be complaining about quarterbacks.
I know. I'm just saying he looks like shit. But the only difference, what I was going to say was the only difference is, Craig from Patton. The major difference is,
hell yeah,
one of our teams has a clinched playoff spot. The other one is not going to make the playoffs. So there's that.
Well,
East side?
I'm not West Side. I don't know.
I don't know if you want to represent West Side right now. That's fine.
I don't know.
Anyway,
no, Chris Elliott, thanks for tuning in. Mom, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate your support. James Gaston, thanks for tuning in. So, okay, Shane's on the road, and we are going to start with this matchup tomorrow night at 8:15. The Saints at the Los Angeles Rams. Oh my, that is just a smorgasbord of loveliness. Yeah, it's just
Suckfest.
Yeah.
Wow. You know what? I'm just gonna go because they're out in Hollywood. I'm taking the Rams. Shane, who you taking?
Saints. I'm taking the Saints.
Oh shit.
All right,
Oh,
Freight Train, who you got?
Well, I'm taking the Rams.
Okay.
I am joining Freight Train on the Rams train. I think that Cooper Kupp looks back. Stafford looks good. They're going to be all right. I'm going to take the Rams here as well.
Okay, Todd said he's taking the Rams for sure. And
So
then
Shane's
Chris
all on his own.
took the Rams. Yeah, Shane's all by himself. And let's see what
He's pulling the Bubba card to start the show.
Yeah, he is. Oh, Craig's taking the Saints this time. Okay, hey guys, we appreciate all your picks, and we'll get them in because we only got a couple more weeks of this stuff till playoff time, and the
Rams
show will
offense
be
has
a
gotten
lot
it going. So
show will be a lot smaller because there's
Saints
not a lot
look like
to talk
dog
about.
shit.
Okay, let's get to this. Let's get to this goddamn matchup. It's going to be Saturday, 4:30 in Heinz Field because it's not Askew Shore. The Cincinnati Bengals versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers are coming off a 3-game
Shane, make
losing
sure you
streak.
take Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, Bubba.
I think I'm probably going to be the only one to take Pittsburgh because I'm that loony. And yes, I'm taking Pittsburgh. I guess Mason Rudolph will be behind center. Mason Cole don't know how to do a shotgun snap, but that's okay because Mason Cole sucks. So, yep, I'm going with Pittsburgh. Shane, who you taking?
Well, Pittsburgh fans, you can thank me later. I'm taking the Bengals.
Okay, he's taking the Bengals. Freight Train. In your wisdom, what are you going to do?
I know it's going to be cold, so we're going to have Rudolph with the red nose. But
won't you come pull your sleigh tonight?
I can't see him making any kind of a difference because the whole.
He's got a stronger arm than Mitch. Mitch will never see the field again.
Yeah, he gets the ball to the defender's hands faster. That's all.
He's got scrambled eggs for brains.
Well,
so
I do too.
He looks lost in translation.
I'm taking Cincinnati. I honestly, I don't even think the Steelers can win another game. I don't really want them to win another game, to be completely honest with you.
There is a chance that Pittsburgh might win this game because I am also going to go with Cincinnati, which means the curse of Shane and Rich picking Pittsburgh might work in your favor. You might actually get this right.
Maybe. Okay, I got some comments. I know I was the only one. Craig, it's going to be a hard fight. I'm tired of losing. Go Steelers. Well, I just take them because I'm taking them. If they lose, I'm not going to lose sleep over it like I have before.
Maybe a little bit.
No, anymore. They just.
I mean, who do they have playing middle linebacker now? Rudy.
They have TA and JT or middle linebackers now.
Freight Train, they're looking for quarterback tryouts. You should probably show up. You should probably stop
Steelers
by.
realm on defense, and then you could.
At this point, I'd take anybody that breathes and has a
the triple B experience. The triple B experience will step in and play O line.
I can't. I can't.
Steelers realm, you guys can go play
I can't
defense.
Move anymore.
And then we're gonna get the guy from down under to play kicker because I mean you know them Australian guys.
Kyle could probably
get him out there kicking.
He can
kick and punt. He'll be multifaceted on special teams.
Well, I'm sure he can kick it better than Presley Harvin. I can guarantee.
Well, with how bad our team is going to be anyway, we'll just use him the whole game. We'll punter the whole game.
He needs to be cut. He needs to be gone. And I'll talk about that at 9:00 about how this fucking team should be like a Kmart fucking
dollar day. It just matches the rest of the team. It really
it's terrible. Chris said he took the Steelers. Todd took the Steelers. Hey, Denise Plavy's in the house. Troy Pierce is in the house. Thank you guys for tuning in to the quickest, longest NFL pick show going today. And we shoot the shit while we do it. So here is the second matchup of that
third.
I hope I didn't miss it. No, wait a minute. I might have missed something. So we shall see. The Bills versus the Chargers. Bills
Jesus
versus
Christ.
the Chargers.
This is a really hard one to pick.
I know. I was getting so messed up. Herbert is not quarterback, and they fired their coach. They scored like 80-some points. The Raiders did. The Bills are. Kal-El's team is on fire right now. I think they're playing probably the best AFC stuff right now. Besides,
gotta meet the script.
Yeah, and it's a WWE script. I'm taking the Buffalo
I'm telling
Bills.
you right. I'm not saying just for them either. I think the NFL itself is following the script. I'm sorry. There's so many weird things. Like it's just so weird.
Well, the referees blow. I think all of us can get a job as the NFL.
They said this season. They said this season the referees have had more impact on wins and losses than any other year in NFL history. And they said since sports betting became a thing, the odds of a team winning or losing based on referees has actually increased by 80%.
Well, it goes hand in hand, doesn't it?
Ridiculous.
That's what I told people was going to happen. I said the moment they make sports betting legal, because again, how do they make money? The NFL, they make it off of views, right? Well, how do you get people to watch football that love football? Well, you put together a good product, right? You get
the family's always watching sports.
How do you get people that don't care about football to watch football? Add gambling, add a way to make money to it, and now they're going to watch games. Like for example, on the average day, are you going to watch Houston versus the Chargers? No, you're probably not. But if you got a parlay that says C.J. Stroud's going to throw for 250 and 2 TDs, now you're going to watch that game all of a sudden, aren't you? So that's why the NFL is doing this shit. I'm sorry. Like they'll give Patrick Mahomes an ugly loss and he'll have his comeback tour and have 2 great games. Fuck all this shit, man. So rigged. Anyway, so who'd you take there, Bubba?
I took the Buffalo Bills. Shane, who did you take?
The Bills, baby.
Freight train.
No, Bills, hands down, not even close.
You're not going to go for the upset there, Frank?
Hell no.
I'm going to go Buffalo.
I'd be upset if I didn't take Buffalo.
I'll bet all of my bills and coins that this game is going to go to the Bills.
I got Todd taking the Bills and Chris taking the Bills, and a big hello to JJ from
I just make dad jokes so I don't get fined.
Thanks, JJ, for tuning in. Yeah, the Chargers they suck worse than the Steelers.
They shouldn't even play anymore. They should just
I wouldn't go that far, but
the NFL has to change a new rule, man. Once you're eliminated from playoffs, you're eliminated from the regular season as well. We don't need to watch you anymore. Think about it. Once you're eliminated from the playoffs, nobody gives a flying shit.
Nobody cares.
Like, you might upset and win a game. Who fucking cares, man? Get out of here. Go home. Pack it up. Get ready for the draft. See you later.
Larry Stryker's in the house. Larry from Pro Wrestling Stream Podcast. How about them Eagles? He says.
How about them Steelers? I says. How about AEW that nobody watches? I says. Fucking prick.
He's like, he's a lot better now. He was sick though. I didn't know. Think about it though. When we did our show last Friday, Larry was a little under the weather. I didn't even know he was sick, man. I didn't know
either.
Yeah. Carlisle's grandma sent me a message and was like, hey, Larry's not, he's wheezing and then he's sneezing and stuff. And Tammy's
you can never tell when he's sick, because sometimes I think it's just a temper tantrum that he's throwing. So I can't really tell if he's sick or just, being Larry. I can never tell the difference.
Well, I checked up on
Hope you feel better, Larry. I didn't know that you were sick. So.
Yeah, Chris Elliott said he's watching AEW right now, he says. And also they have their big show Friday night. The Shitheads have their big show. So if you guys are tuning in for wrestling and you want to get entertained, tune in to Pro Wrestling Extreme Talk. I think it's 7 or 8 o'clock. I'll share it on my site, and if you haven't subscribed, you need to. Okay,
all jokes aside, you should watch it, but I just want to say for marketing strategy, you shouldn't call every show your big show. Just saying.
I don't have a big show.
So tune in for his jumbo show this week. It's
the really big show.
Mine's the Minnow show. No problem.
They need to have the big show's intro music as their fucking show opener. Well, I'm just saying.
It's the big slow. Okay, and this is a slow matchup right here, guys, at 1 o'clock. The Washington Commanders against the New York Jets.
Oh, no.
Can we just call this one a draw?
It's a pathetic fucking Jets are goddamn pathetic. I watched that game the other day. Pathetic, because I think they switched it out, or no, you had it and then they switched it out, or it was ridiculous. I'm taking the Commanders. Taking the Washington Commanders. Shane?
Oh, boy. I think I'm going to take the Jets.
Woo.
Yeah, I think I'm taking the Jets just because they're better defensively.
Ooh. Rich?
Fuck. See, again, why does it have to be on TV still? Just turn them both off.
They got no offense. Their offense is worse than the Steelers.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to say Zach Wilson proves me wrong, which I highly doubt. But I'm going to say he goes back to the Zach Wilson he was 2 weeks ago, some magical fucking way. I'm going to take the Jets, but I'm only doing it for defensive purposes. I agree with Freight Train 100%. If that defense was even 10% lesser than it is, I would say Washington, but I'm taking the Jets.
Okay.
God,
I'm the only one taking the Commanders. Todd's taking the Jets. Chris is taking the Jets. Gabe Rischel, thanks for tuning in.
I thought I'd be the only one. I think I'm surprised.
I am surprised. Well, I'm not the only one now. I think the Commanders have the edge here. Thanks, Craig. I don't know what kind of edge
He's
it is.
just kissing your ass over there. Craig, you don't got to kiss his ass. It's all good.
No.
Go Steelers.
He's a pioneer.
Washington.
He's been here since the start of it all, since I think 2018 when I started it all. And it was like,
oh, no wonder he picks all the same
two other
teams you
people.
do.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But
Okay.
look, Freight Train's kind of I don't know if I call him my buddy, but I'm just kidding. But I mean,
Good acquaintance. How about that?
Yeah, relatively decent, semi-cool acquaintances. But you don't see me copying his fucking picks. Maybe I should sometimes.
You should.
Yeah. Well,
I'm the one. I think I'm in the lead right now, percentage.
You know what? You don't count though. I can't count you though.
These next 3 weeks are going to tell. These next 3 weeks are going to put us.
I
It's not my fault, Bubba.
I always discount you. Well, yeah, but you still missed 2 weeks aside from the week he forgot about you. But to be fair, the hardest picks to make are always the first couple of weeks because you have no idea what any team is going to do yet. You have no clue. You're just going off of projections off the offseason.
That's like half the NFL right now. I don't know what the Steelers are doing.
I feel a lot more confident doing picks in week 13 than I do week 1.
No,
week 1 is tough.
This is harder for me.
We tried.
If you did, you would have picked the Panthers to win.
Mark
and the Eagles to
Mancini,
lose.
Merry Christmas.
I think I had Carolina winning week 1.
Well, Carolina looked good on paper the first week.
I agree. Again, that's why week 1, 2, and 3 so hard because even week 1 they might look really bad, but I'm like, week 1 can always be a fluke because it's the first game of the year. You got young players, so you believe in them again week 2, and you don't learn your lesson until week 3, and you got to miss all that.
Here we go with this next matchup. Detroit Lions at the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota lost in overtime to the Cincinnati Bengals. Detroit came back. I'm taking. I don't care. I'm taking Detroit Lions. Shane?
I'm riding that train. Detroit.
Freight train.
Yeah, Detroit needs this one bad. They're going to win.
And I'm going to finish the quadrifecta, and I'm going to go Detroit. And I think my dog even came over to say Detroit, so taking the line.
Oh, guess who's in here to give his holiday cheer? Thank you, Burns. Thank you, Burns. Steelers suck.
Tell us how you really feel, Brian. Is that what you think?
Just tell us. Tell us. And he also picked the Lions. Craig picked the Lions. Mark Mancini said, Merry Christmas. Love you, boys. Thank you. Right back to you, Mark Mancini. Todd says the Lions, and Chris says the Lions. And Stephen Harris, thanks for tuning in. And everybody, it's a Lion pick. So here we go to the next matchup. Roll out. That was my Optimus Prime voice.
Sounded like him.
Yeah, roll out. Well, this is a bad.
I was going to say to work on it. You guys are nice.
Yeah, I do. I do got it. Ralph Williams is in the house. Ralph Williams, Beaver County's own. Okay, here we go with this matchup. I hate the Cleveland Browns.
Beaver County. What is that? Is that a MILF club? Beaver County.
Beaver County is a county in Western Pennsylvania. Mr. Ralph Williams has a radio show on the radio, but yes, the Cleveland Browns at the Houston Texans. I know. I know that the Browns have a better defense, but I'm going back on the Texas war wagon.
Wrong time to do it.
Stroud might be not playing though, Bubba.
I don't care because that other guy. I don't care. That other guy.
Davis Mills is bum
Every
ass.
second string quarterback except for Steelers second string quarterbacks. I don't care who it is. I don't give a shit.
Oh, Keenum's worse than Davis Mills. Never mind.
Yeah, can't be any worse than Mitch Trubisky. So
yes, he can be. Yes, the fuck he can.
I'm taking.
Yes, he
I'm
can.
taking the Texans.
I don't know.
Taking the Texans.
I do know. I've been watching football long enough to tell you for sure.
Well, yeah, I'll take them. Oh, there you go.
See ya. Have fun.
I'm taking the Brownies, baby.
I love when the Eagles are when they're driving and we just throw the ball 60 yards aimlessly downfield and get picked off. It's my favorite quarterback play.
Who are you taking?
The Browns.
The Browns. I'm going to take the Browns.
And they're going to lock up a playoff spot with this win.
Let me tell you something real quick. I just want to say I love old man Joe Flacco. I've been rooting for Joe Flacco for the last couple of years. He was in Philly. I loved him in the preseason. We got rid of him.
That pisses me off because Joe Flacco was having a terrible game. 2 picks, terrible. And then the fourth quarter, he just comes out and throws for 200 yards in the fourth quarter. It's not how you start.
It's how you finish.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. We don't have that on our team.
Well, no, it's just the fact that he's already out. I think he's already has more touchdown passes than your entire quarterback depth chart.
He does.
He just came off his couch on Thanksgiving.
Greg said Brownies
he finished his cranberries, and he popped out and just threw like 35 touchdowns. It's great.
Now, the thing is, guys, I'm not the only one because Todd and Ralph took the Texans and Chris took the Browns. Chris Elliott took the Browns. So there's 3 of us that took the Texans in that big marquee matchup. I mean,
they're heating up at the right time is what it is.
Joe Flacco's on fire. Just like you're icy hot.
I want to see Joe Flacco and the Browns upset Baltimore in the playoffs.
Well, that'd be something
phenomenal. That'd be a welcome. Go fuck yourself. You guys doubted me.
Here we go with this matchup. It's another shit show Sunday.
I should wear my Ravens jersey.
The Green Bay Packers at the Carolina Panthers. Oh man, Green Bay Packers.
Freight
train. Fudge Packers.
Fudge Packers.
That's what I called them too.
Oh, there you go. Well, there you go.
Oh, look, we finally have something in common.
Before we know it, we aren't going to be acquaintances anymore.
If these last couple of weeks, all these last couple of weeks were like dates, we would have finally found our first thing in common today.
So
I'm going Green Bay as well.
So everybody took the Packers.
This doesn't mean you can blow up my phone to sell me insurance.
So you got to be able to afford insurance for me to sell it to you.
Craig says go Packers. He's taking the Packers. Burns is taking the Packers big. Todd's taking the Packers, and Chris Elliott said the Packers big. Okay, it's pretty much unanimous. The Carolina Panthers have fallen from the God's green earth. Okay,
and you can go watch them for as little as 45 cents per ticket.
Well, hey, that's a good thing, and you get some beers and some.
Rich fell off his chair.
Pizza. Well, laughing so hard.
I had to go put my favorite jersey on real fast. Yeah,
a
little bit of Ray Lewis in here real quick. Look at Bubba's face. I think he broke.
Dude,
what the fuck?
Did I ever tell you my collection?
You never did until I just.
I almost have one jersey of every NFL team. It's
wow.
Pittsburgh and Cleveland are the only 2 teams in the NFC North. I do not AFC North that I do not have a jersey.
And matching thongs to match.
I have a Chad Johnson jersey. I had a
Walter
Palmer.
Jersey.
I used to have a Rudy Johnson jersey back when he was good, back in like 2008.
Okay, where are we at?
I have an Antoine Bowling
Ray Lewis
jersey.
Go to that nightclub in Georgia.
Best player to ever play in the AFC North.
He was a killer linebacker.
You're fucking high.
Greatest linebacker of all time.
Oh, he was killer.
Yes, no. He is the greatest linebacker of all time.
No.
Yes, he is.
No.
Not arguable. You can't argue this with me. You'll lose.
No.
We're back to being acquaintances.
No.
That's fine.
No.
I put this jersey on for a reason.
No.
I did it for the fanfare.
I agree with you, DeGastro. Hey, Jack Ham was probably a different time period. He wasn't.
You also, you know what though? If you look back at that time period and you were to call a flag on all the things they call flags on now, Jack Lambert would have been banned from the league his rookie game, his first game on the.
So would Lawrence Taylor. So would a lot of those guys.
Yeah. Lawrence Taylor's better than fucking. I mean, he was all coked up. Lawrence Taylor's better than.
I put Ray Lewis number 1 for the simple fact he has to follow more rules. He had to play in the modern day NFL, and he is a part of the greatest defense ever assembled in 2001. And that's not opinionated.
Really good.
That is, no, that's factual. They had the lowest yards per game allowed, lowest points per game allowed. They won a championship with Trent Dilfer. Must I say more?
I would expect this from a guy that roots for a team that has the only logo that points to the fucking left.
The Ravens.
But in 2001,
they ran under the night of Cleveland. Those fucking pansies ran under the night in Cleveland and got out of there. They weren't even ballsy enough to hey, we're going to leave during the day. We're going to go out at night. Pansies. Okay. Sucks.
You look like a blueberry.
Here we go.
I like being blueberry.
Seattle Seahawks at the Tennessee Titans. The Titans just didn't have it last week. I am taking the Seattle Seahawks.
Didn't Tennessee win last week? Am I right?
Me too. Seahawks, baby.
Am I tripping balls?
Ball was way better. But that was different.
That's a safety. I didn't say Jesus. I love our fans. They crack me up. They don't pay attention.
Hawks. Okay. Burns says Hawks. Chris Elliott says Hawks. What'd you say, Shane?
I say the Seahawks.
Okay.
I'm saying Seahawks as well.
Freight train, who'd you say? Hawks?
Yeah, I hope they just don't have a letdown from their easy win last week. So
Todd Backo says Titans in a close one. So, okay, let me go to this one.
So we all went Seattle. This is going to be a boring week. We're all going to have the same record minus like 2
probably.
games.
Oh, we've got the Colts at Atlanta. Oh, Atlanta is fine. The only thing that's Atlanta that's any good is The Walking Dead, and that's this team, the Atlanta Falcons. So I'm taking the Colts because they beat our ass and they beat us with third-string running backs. So
Yeah, I've been riding the Colts all season except for when they played the Steelers like a dumbass. I picked Steelers, but I'm sticking with the Colts.
Craig's taking Seattle. Okay, Freight Train, who you taking?
I'm taking Atlanta at home.
Okay.
I'm taking the Colts by 17.
Okay. Craig's taking the Colts.
Atlanta has the worst quarterback depth chart in the NFL.
Chris is taking the Falcons, so you're not the only one.
I would, by the way. At least Mitch throws the ball. Ritter just takes
Mitch who? Trubisky? Fuck
he's
Mitch
Trubisky. He's better than Desmond Ritter. Ritter's terrible. Ritter might be in the bottom 5 quarterbacks
Atlanta,
in the NFL.
21-17.
Out of like the 69 quarterbacks that have started a game this year, he's bottom 5 all day. He's supposed to be a starter. Ritter's bad. At least Mitch is your backup. He has an excuse to be a piece of shit. Ritter was supposed to be like the all hail the draft
Burns
pick.
says Atlanta just to show you how the Steelers suck.
He was like a third-round pick, 4th-round.
Terrible.
Okay.
Yeah, but he was supposed to be the franchise. He's fucking terrible.
Okay, here we go. This is a big
Sounds like another quarterback
matchup.
that I know.
Big marquee.
Me too.
I don't have a quarterback. I don't know.
Neither do I. Mine
I'll take
become
Jalen
Lamar
Hurts.
Jackson and just run the ball 18 times a game, so that's fine.
Okay, here we go. Did I mess this up? No, I didn't.
How to hide how bad of a passer you are.
Okay, here we
ball,
go.
Stats look better.
Yeah.
Jacksonville Jaguars against the Baker Mayfield Tampa Bay Bucks. Baker was hot last week, man. Hot.
Yeah.
Hot.
I didn't know you swung that way, Bubba. Good for you. Way to come out
Baker
live.
Mayfield. No, I'm straight.
No, I'm just
and I think Trevor Lawrence is hurt, if I'm not mistaken.
He's playing
hurt.
somewhere.
He's playing, but he was hurt. He was hurt.
Okay, well, I'm going to go with Baker. I'm
Does it
going to
matter?
take Baker Mayfield. We trust just because he's lighting them up right now. Baker taking the Bucks. Shane?
I'm taking the Bucks.
Okay.
Frady.
This is a tough one.
Come on, FedEx Freight. What you got?
I'm gonna take Jacksonville because they need it to have any chance at the playoffs. I think they come in a little bit.
Britt Baker's going to be out there waving her fucking Jacksonville flag.
I think the NFL is rigged. I think Tampa's going to win the NFC South, whether they win or lose this game. I agree with Freight. Jacksonville needs this win to stay in contention with Indiana and keep up in that whole race. AFC is wild. I'm going to go Jacksonville as well.
Okay, Burns took Jacksonville. Craig took Tampa.
I'm going to regret that because I wanted to go
don't
Tampa.
Don't care who you all pick. It's a rest.
No, you're right. I picked them.
Well,
that
it is what it is. The gas rail. We just make picks.
That doesn't mean I'm wrong. I'm leading the percentage.
In percentage.
Here we go. Okay, Craig. Don't start the Mayfield to Pittsburgh shit. He sucks also. Well, Burns, he's better than any fucking quarterback we got.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ, he threw for 375 yards last week. We haven't done that. I can't remember. I can't.
Hey, Rich, what are the stats right now? Who's in the lead for our group?
I believe Freight Train's in first. I could be. I got to go over it later. I didn't get a chance to go through it thoroughly. Unfortunately, I wasn't here last week, so Bubba had to email me the picks for you three.
Yeah,
I had to send a Facebook message for you guys so you guys could see my picks before the games kicked off. So I sent mine through Messenger. I tried to combine them this afternoon, but with my rough day, and I didn't get over work.
Yeah, it's hard. It is hard to do anything at work in my job too, because now I got to fucking do actual work.
I'm winning by like a 16th of a percentage point.
I'll have it. Yeah, I'll have it finished up and ready to go by next week. So we'll be.
It's
all
okay.
right.
It's okay, man.
Get your shit
it's
together,
It's the holidays. It's the holidays. Todd said he's taking the Bucks. Chris is taking the Bucks.
It's hard being the fan favorite and keep the numbers. You know, Jesus.
Well, yeah, when you wear a goddamn fucking jersey like that,
Yeah.
you're just a fan favorite. I can see the fucking. Oh,
I'm gonna come visit you guys in
more
Pittsburgh
comments.
and bring my Ravens jersey with me.
Yeah, you
Okay,
won't.
I will.
Okay, I don't know. Tomlin. Well, I don't know what we're getting. That's because we have Eric Steele's hero, Kenny Pickett. Well, Steele will punch you right in the face, Burns, but that's okay. And he would too.
A lot of people would punch Burns in the face.
You ever see? He's got a face that everybody likes to punch.
You got a very punchable face, pal. Did you ever hear that before?
He's like, fuck you, bub. I'm like, spoiler, Rudolph is going to throw for 258 yards, run for 35, and 2 touchdowns.
Who?
Okay.
Who?
Okay, Todd. Mason Rudolph. I just got Todd Backo.
If you put that shit on FanDuel right now, you'll win $11 million on a dollar bet.
You put it in there, Todd.
Those are $11 million to
parlay that
odds.
fucker. Parlay that fucker.
Don't even parlay it. Just play it straight, and you'll fucking make a ton of fucking money on that.
Yeah, you would. I just want to parlay
Christ.
one time. Okay, here we go with this one. 425
shit.
game. Dallas Cowboys at the Miami Dolphins. Dallas, they got beat last week. I'm taking the Miami Dolphins because they're at home.
I'm taking Miami.
Welcome to Miami. Dun, dun, dun.
This is a tough one.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, just pick already. Jesus Christ.
Go ahead,
Well, I
Shane.
didn't get to look at the injury report.
Who'd you look, Shane?
Tyreek
Tyreek is playing, I believe.
I took Miami.
Okay, I'm bad. I was doing 6 things.
I'm taking,
That's okay. Freight Train's having a hard time doing one.
I'm taking Dallas because Tua and the Dolphins haven't shown that they can beat a good team yet.
I'm taking Dallas as well. I took them last week, and no, it sucks bad about watching Dallas lose when it actually hurts my numbers, but I didn't give a fuck. I told you guys going into it would be the happiest loss I'll ever take. So I'm taking Dallas as well. So far, every time I've picked Dallas, they've lost. So I'm just going to keep that roll.
Okay. Chris Elliott took the Dolphins, and Todd took the Dolphins. Burns says Dolphins. Dallas sucks on the road. And Craig says Dolphins, fins up, boo the cry.
Yeah, but the weather's nice in Miami, so it's not like they're playing in a cold place. I mean, like Dallas struggles the most when they play in places like Buffalo, Kansas City, Philadelphia. You know, in the winter, they're always struggling in a cold environment. Miami, you're not going to have that same kind of vibe. I mean, it's going to be a lot warmer in Miami than, let's say, Buffalo. So I don't think Dallas is going to struggle as bad on the road in a warm climate like Miami. I just don't see that being a problem.
Right. I just saw that game and I just at Miami. I'm just throwing darts at a fucking wall right now. It doesn't matter because I just do touchdowns.
Well, Miami could win the game. I'm just saying as far as his reasoning doesn't necessarily make sense just because of where they're playing at.
Yeah. Okay, here we go with this one. New England Patriots at Denver, Mile High Stadium. New England sucks. I'm taking the Denver Broncos. Shane, who are you taking?
I'm taking the Broncos.
Okay, Freight Train.
Denver.
Who are you taking?
Denver.
I'm going to go to the Mile High Club in more than one way. I'm going to take Denver.
Oh, man, I'd love to go to Mile High Club at least once. That'd be great. But I did a lot of mile clubs, but you know how it goes.
Tammy,
is that hey Bubba?
Well, yes.
Is that running the mile at Marion Center high?
No,
is that what that is?
No, I hate running, dude. I got the husky shit. I ran in the police academy a mile and a half, but I would take my wife on the Mile High Club. I would. I just say that? Yes, I would. Yes, I would. And we would we'd party like rock stars. Greg said Denver. Oh, the Gastro said New England.
He must have a relative that roots. His wife must root for him.
Yeah, maybe. And Todd said the Broncos, and Chris said the Broncos. And I do not have the Husky weight record. No, Burns. No, I do not. But here we go. Monday night, Christmas Day. Ho, ho, ho. Merry fucking Christmas. And the NFL has 3 fucking games Christmas Day.
Boy, they hate their players. They hate their players.
They just suck the life.
No, they hate
money.
their players' families.
They just, it's ridiculous. Like, even the WWE takes a fucking week off, man.
Now they're playing Thursdays, they're playing Saturdays, they're playing Sundays, Mondays. Dude, I told my fiance eventually they're so desperate for a cash grab.
They're going to play every day.
They're going to play every day, Monday through Sunday.
And it's going to be
because they're now realizing, well, hell, we can get more partnerships, get more sponsors, make more money. And honestly, if people are willing to watch those shit show products we put in Germany, they'll watch anything we put on television.
I don't think I watched the whole game.
Maybe we'll have FanDuel offer a boost in payouts if they watch the fucking game.
Another reason I watch the Amazon game, guys, lately is because the Steelers are on. Other than that, I don't watch the fucking games.
You're gonna be watching Wednesday football, Tuesday football.
No, I don't.
You watch. Mark my words. In the next 10 years, you're gonna have 7 days a week in football.
Everybody will, but I only watch if it's the Steelers, and then maybe if I'm looking at some parlays, maybe. But I don't watch a lot of NFL after the fucking Steelers lose. I just watch the Steelers. And then playoffs. I'll watch playoffs, but not during fucking Christmas.
You're talking about playoffs?
I don't know, not us, but I mean, 3
Now-
Christmas. Has
If
they
you
ever
wear
had?
if anybody's wearing a Pittsburgh logo, you are not allowed to use the word playoffs or quarterback. It's a rule.
I got a hat. I you know, but is this the only time ever you guys can think of that they had games on Christmas Day? Lately?
Yeah, it is. I think it is the first
No.
time. Well,
Bullshit.
they're capitalizing on the NBA success. The NBA
Oh.
has always
Yeah,
usually
NBA
like,
did it for
like
years.
the NFL always had Thanksgiving, and then then with the NBA, so NBA always had Christmas. NFL had Thanksgiving. That was always kind of like ticket for tat, and then somehow college football has New Year's, so that's always a big thing for New Year's. Every sport kind of had its own holiday, and then somewhere along the way, the NFL just wants to take it off. They just want everything for themselves.
Used to be one game if you were lucky. Todd says no.
I hope,
Burns.
I hope their viewership tanks so they don't do it anymore.
I did not ruin that little girl's birthday at the fucking Chinese buffet, Burns. Here's the story real quick. Some fucking goddamn Trumpinator was talking politics. I could hear him the whole way across. And the father and daughter were sitting right behind this guy. And they got up and left because they didn't want to hear it anymore because they were having a birthday celebration for his daughter who was 15, Burns. And what happened was the guy got up with his daughter and left, and that fucking guy who was talking politics said, "Hey, fuck you." He goes, "I can say anything I want to. Fuck you." And I'm like, holy shit. So I went up to get some buffet. I only got 3 plates, Burns, real quick. And
Only 3.
and only 3 plates because I got peel and eat shrimp. So the guy,
Real fast, just so I can picture the whole story. How high are these plates? Are we
no,
talking
they weren't
like,
that high.
Are we talking like I'm just saying, it's like
they
my
weren't that
mom
high.
when
I
she
swear
said
to
she only
God.
had 1 drink when she meant the whole
No.
bottle that she drank. You know?
No, I didn't know. But anyway, real quick, the father's like, "Hey, man, thank you," because the owner knew. He's like, "Oh, he's crazy. He's crazy." So the guy at the end, he said, "Hey, see ya." The guy that was being an asshole, and I was like, "Hey, buddy, you told him to go fuck himself. Why are you saying bye?" And he said something to me. I said, "Hey, buddy, first off, you know who the fuck you're talking to, and the place is a little busy." And I got up and he fucking got in my face, and I was gonna be like, "Hey, old man, go eat your fucking Chinese food and shut the fuck up." I was outside waiting for him. I'd have made the newspaper.
This
and I would've got
NFL
arrested.
pick show is wild. I
Yeah,
love it.
it was a Burns
This is
fucking
pop
talks
culture
about,
with NFL
Burns,
picks.
this is a football show. No one gives a fuck what I do during the day. So, but I just wanted to get it out there because Burns threw it out there, color commentating on the side. So, okay, here we go. So if I ever see that old guy again,
If there is ever a show that is in the definition of ADD, this is fucking
This
it,
is
baby.
it.
This is it. This is the
Well, we're
ADD
trying to get
of
ratings,
NFL.
right? Right, Shane? We're trying
We're
to
trying to get
whatever.
rated.
That's what's
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jason
rated
Reese is in the house.
X at this point. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Okay, Jason Reese from Pro Wrestling Extreme Podcast. Okay, the Raiders at Kansas City.
Oh,
I'm
great. This is going to be a real close
taking
one.
Kansas City. Taylor Swift, yeah, I don't even care about Taylor Swift. I know she's all nice and all. And
Yeah, well, she's
No.
fucking up Travis's whole career. Every time she goes to a game, he plays worse.
well,
Yeah.
okay, but I'm taking Kansas City.
There was actually somebody did a TikTok video on the stats of when she's there versus when she's not.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
He is dramatically worse when she is in the. When she's
Wow.
actually
Well,
there.
yeah,
You
he
know
looks
why?
like he's stuck in the mud.
Listen, there's a
Because-
rule of thumb. I don't mean to take this the wrong direction again, but in reality, when you play sports as a professional, they always tell you stay away from women. It's bad for your knees. It's bad for your back.
Yeah,
You're not supposed to be fornicating during the
Yeah.
season, right? Well, you're gonna sit here and tell me right now he doesn't get to see her that often. She's on tour. They're not bumping uglies the night before. That man's gassed. He probably bumps uglies before they get there.
Kansas City by Craig. Burns is taking
Hey,
the Raiders. Shane, who you
She
taking?
runs on that treadmill for 3 hours. She probably wears old Kelsey out, so I could see that happening. But I'm
Okay,
taking
who you taking?
Kansas City.
Kansas City. Freight train. Who you
Yeah.
taking?
Kansas City.
Okay.
I'm taking the bitch ass Chiefs.
the Jazz Chiefs.
Can't stand them.
I know cats are. I know when cats take over stuff, Burns, it ruins the sport.
I know. Look at the
Yeah.
Roman Coliseum. It's covered
I
in stray
know.
cats. It's insane.
Okay, Todd took the Chiefs. He said he would bail me out. Thank you. I appreciate that.
This is
Chris
why
said
we get the
Kansas
wrong
City.
ratings.
Bubba, did that guy have to look up at you? Yes, he did. He was a short little guy. Okay, here we go. Here we go. La 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 la.
No height shaming, Bubba.
No, I'm sorry. The New York Giants at the Philadelphia Eagles. This is easy. I'm taking the Eagles. Shane, who you taking?
Eagles.
Freight train.
Oh man, this is tough. Both quarterbacks.
Did you see DeVito just upped his charge? He was supposed to do like this mom and pop shop Italian joint in New York, and apparently the shop claims there was an agreement for $10,000 for him to come do like a visit, and like a sign or whatever.
Now it's 25.
And apparently he raised it $15,000. They can't afford it, and he pulled out of the deal. Now he thinks he's like some kind of a hot shot because ESPN
What a
cares.
douchebag.
ESPN gave him attention for 11 minutes, and now all of a sudden he's a hot
What a
dick.
douchebag.
What a dick.
No, I'm taking the
Greg's-
Eagles.
Greg's
That's an
taking
easy
Eagles.
one. It's an
Todd's
easy
taking
one.
Eagles. Chris is taking Eagles.
Yeah.
Rich
Everybody wants to be there to lose now just because of the
Rich-
fact of what he did. I'm taking Philly anyway, but yeah.
Rich smoke with your
I hope we eat
Ray
him
Lewis.
up. Eat him up.
yeah.
Fuck
Okay.
that guy.
That's just ridiculous. That's just bullshit there.
He's like,
You know what
that's
I
like
mean?
half his salary. What does he get paid?
Yeah.
He gets like $15 a game. I mean,
Yeah,
Jesus
that's
Christ.
it. And next year he won't even fucking know who the fuck he is.
If he was in college, he wouldn't even get a fucking NIL deal.
Rich,
I mean,
his
Jesus
agent,
Christ.
his agent. Wait, Chris says Rich.
He went to
His
Illinois
agent
for crying out loud.
is that fired him is what happened. Sis, I don't know. I'm sorry, Chris. You must be. Maybe I'm dyslexic. I don't know. Rich, his agent, SIS, that and fired him is what happened. Okay.
Sure.
Okay, here we go. Yeah.
Great comment. Keep him
I'm
coming.
sorry, Chris. Sometimes I too many shots to the head. Okay, here we go. The last game. Monday night on Christmas night at 8:15. We got the 49ers at Baltimore. I don't give a fuck. I'm taking the 49ers. I don't care. Chris O'Hara, he's going to be in the house talking Steeler football here in about 15 minutes. Yeah, I'm taking the 49ers.
I'm gonna go.
I was gonna say break out the booty shorts, but they wear them in Baltimore too. So I'm taking the 49ers. I have to specify.
I'm just gonna cut. I'm just gonna go real fast. I'm taking Baltimore. I'm gonna tell you why.
Oh,
They
Jesus.
need San Fran to lose again. They need him to lose again. It's just like we talked about with Philly a couple weeks. Like you need them to lose a game. You need San Fran to lose one. This way, Purdy can bring them back, go into the playoffs on a win streak, make them look hot, make the Super Bowl look realistic. This is who I had going to the Super Bowl all year. I called it during the preseason. I had San Fran and Baltimore going to the bowl. And I'm telling you right now, I think it's going to be a good game, but I think they need San Fran to lose, and then San Fran comes back, wins the Super Bowl, beats Baltimore. Game
I don't see
I'm telling you
Baltimore
right
getting there.
No,
But
I think San Fran's going to beat them both times.
yeah.
I agree. I don't know.
I don't
We'll
think
see.
Baltimore.
Well,
I
that's
don't
what
think
I think Baltimore's going to win this one. You're taking
I
San
mean,
Fran, right?
well, I'm sure we'll talk about that, but I don't think.
I think this is
Baltimore's
going to be a
gonna fucking-
blowout. I think the
I don't
Ravens
think so.
are going to get manhandled.
I think Baltimore's defense is good. So is the Niners. Both defenses are good. It's going to come down to how the rule of thumb with Purdy. You got to put him under pressure early and make him struggle a little bit. Make them become one-dimensional. The Ravens
Yeah,
are
but
saying.
Rich,
both of
Baltimore
these
doesn't
teams are
have
the
a run
same.
game now. They don't
I'm
have a run
saying
game.
somebody's
Gus
hurt
Edwards
this
only
game.
runs Gus
Both-
Edwards only
both
runs
of
at the
these-
goal line.
Both of these
Keaton
teams are the
Mitchell
same
blew his
though.
knee out.
They're not stopping.
Both
McCaffrey.
teams,
They're not
both
stopping
teams
him.
don't come from behind well. San Fran does not come back from behind very well. Baltimore doesn't come from behind very well. They're both. They're that's just how once you make one of those teams one-dimensional, Lamar's not going to carry an offense, and neither is Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy cannot carry an offense. He needs McCaffrey to have 400 rushing yards a game
But that's
and 6
fine.
TDs.
That's
And
fine.
he
They can't
does.
stop him. They can't stop him. Their defense is not like the guy you got on the jersey there. That guy. That ain't going to be the. What was he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ray
Okay.
Lewis, the real deal.
Todd said the Ravens won't get past the Chiefs to get to the Super Bowl. He said.
Yes, they will.
Well, and Chris Elliott took the 49ers. And Joshua, thanks for tuning in. So that's everything. 3 games on Christmas night, which is ridiculous. You know what I mean? I think so. I think it's too much. It's all
Philly's not on
watered down.
Christmas, is it?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Philly would-
yes, it is.
No.
Yes, it is. It's
Philly would
12:30.
never allow that shit. Jeffrey Lurie set me up for
I'm
that shit.
telling you, the Raiders and Chiefs at 1:00. The Giants Eagles is at 4:30, and Ravens 49ers at 8:15.
Well, at
So
least
the
I'll be able
Eagles
to.
are playing on Christmas. You're telling me the Eagles are playing on Christmas?
Yes,
Eagles never play on Christmas.
I'm
ever.
telling you.
So wait, the Baltimore San Fran game is also Christmas.
Yes, it's 8:15.
Yeah, Monday night.
So that's what they're doing. They're using their top marquee teams to sell
On
Christmas. Is what
Christmas.
they're doing. They're using Philadelphia. They're going to use the rivalry between the two, Philly and
They got
New
the Chiefs,
New
the
York.
Eagles, the 49ers.
They got the
all three.
Chiefs, Baltimore, and San Fran all playing
Yeah.
on Christmas. Yeah, that's not by accident, ladies and gentlemen. That
No,
is
it's
not
not.
by accident.
Way to go,
Mhm.
fucking Commissioner Roger Goodell.
Well, you used to have to worry about the Chinese taking over the world. The NFL's gonna.
They're becoming the Disney of television.
Benjamin says the Steelers. Yes, we're going to get on that show in about 15 minutes, brother, because I got some Steeler bitching to do. So, and I also got.
Haven't you run out of things?
Chris,
have you not run out of stuff yet? I mean, Jesus Christ.
I did. No,
I feel like Steeler. I feel like I watched Steelers rub, and they all just look so exhausted the whole show.
No, I'm
done.
I tuned in the other night.
So
Bertrand's like, I don't care. TA's like, I don't care.
I just go in.
Like,
I don't even. I got one sheet. Back to back, and I got Chris O'Hara coming in and bitching. And honestly, I had to try to get. If you guys ever saw my social media, that Daryl Grandy, he always is like, "Oh, local 22022, oh, Mike Tomlin," and anybody that fucking bashes Mike Tomlin is a racist. Bullshit.
Hey, are you gonna
give a shit. I don't give a shit if he's fucking polka dots. He's stale as my fucking bread in my fucking cupboard.
Yeah,
well, I'll tell you, Bubba, Steelers are like watching a carnival freak show. You pay $10 to see a bearded woman. You have your hands half covered watching the whole time, but you got to see it, you know?
Billy Fancy Rocky. Rocky's not running the street on Christmas Day.
It might be more interesting and fun to talk about Rashard Mendenhall's ridiculous comment. And comment on that.
Let's talk about that right now real quick. He's a blooming idiot. We got a couple minutes.
It's the most ridiculous statement. I mean,
Mendenhall is. I mean, I know he was a screenwriter for Ballers. You know what, Mendenhall? Just write your screenplays and just shut the hell up.
The thing is, we live in an era where they're creating. It's funny because they always say that history repeats itself, right? And it definitely does. It's funny. We spent decades and decades and decades killing segregation just for us to segregate ourselves anyway, and then we create this culture where, like, for example, my brother-in-law's black. We were just having this conversation literally Monday night. We had to talk about something other than Eagles football, so we had to talk about something else. And we were talking about Mendenhall's comment, and he goes, "You know what's messed up? You watch these guys like Stephen A. Smith. You watch these guys like Shannon Sharp. You watch all these, these black guys who have a hell of a lot of success, by the way. Right. And they're like, oh, well, the most passing yards ever by a black quarterback. Why does that matter? I mean, like, do you want to be compared amongst your own people? Does it matter? I mean, like, don't you want to be for example, do you think Brady ever goes, I'm the greatest white quarterback ever? He's like, no, I'm the fucking greatest quarterback of all time. Who cares?
Right.
I mean, like, at the end of the day, and actually, aside from the secondary, the game would actually be pretty fucking evenly matched, by the way. I mean, every other position is very even until you get to the secondary. The secondary is the only position where the white guys kind of slack off.
I saw this one TikTok. This guy did it. He couldn't get anybody from the secondary on the.
Now, safety's not included. The last NFL corner that was white was Jason Sehorn for the Giants in 2002. It's been 21 years since we had. Now we had some, like Reed Blankenship for Philadelphia is a white safety, and you got some of them out there.
Well, John Lynch, one of the best of all time.
John Lynch is all, but again, he also retired back in the early 2000s. But like, there's not many. But that being said, I hate that we use this racial clickbait to create.
Well, Mendenhall is just trying to make himself relevant.
It blew up. People were doing people were doing their draft setup all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, I don't give a shit if people are in the black and gold that are pink and polka dots. But I will not
compare people that have fumbled away a Super Bowl.
But I will not have people jump on my Facebook or my YouTube channels and fucking say racist comments that's out of control because
you gotta feel bad.
I had to fucking ban them. And people that are listening, you can't do that shit.
No,
seriously.
No.
You want to take your fucking racist shit, take it in your own house. You don't bring your shit on my show because I'm not having that.
Right.
Well, I'm
not getting shut down.
But if you think about Rashard,
it's not even about that. We're better people than that.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not about being shut down. It's about being a decent human being.
Well, I'm like that, but I can't have that. Like people just, you know what I mean? Like I don't like his coaching. It doesn't have to do anything with color. For real.
You know what the problem is aside from my alfalfa sprout over here right now because my headphones keep pushing my hair up and down.
Oh, I'm there with you.
My headphones like slide my hair up and down as I slide it back and forth all day long. You know what the biggest thing is though? Imagine being Mendenhall and being like the worst Steelers running back for the last 15, 20 years. Think about how good the running backs in Pittsburgh have been over the years, and people forget to mention him. Like until he made that comment, I was like, "Oh fuck, he's the guy that played for Arizona." And I remembered him in Arizona before I did Pittsburgh.
Fumbled. He was good. They run a winning drive. He fumbled.
You guys have had Deuce Staley, Jerome Dennis, Willie Parker. I mean, you guys have had some good backs. He's not even in the top. He's not even top 7 or top 8. He's not even top 7 or top 8 of Pittsburgh's running backs since 2000.
No, he's not even in the top fucking 10.
He might not even be in the top 12. I mean, I'm
even
just
in
saying.
the 80s, we've had great running backs in the 80s.
Yep. Going back to Franco.
We've always
Barry Foster.
Yes, we've always had great running backs.
You had Franco Harris back.
That's why I
watched
the Steelers.
Ton of guys.
If you want to watch something, Freight Train, I watched Saturday. I watched the Steelers golden years from 70s to what I mean. At the end, they were like,
I watched
Bill
a couple
Cowher.
myself.
Yeah, I have to watch that old stuff just to see
I liked Cowher, but he was a dickhead, man. He was such a dickhead. I mean,
Shane, where you go?
I'll never forget when he spit in Hines Ward's face on the sideline.
That's because he was just intensity.
That's gonna live in infamy, though.
Like that was intensity.
When people bring up Bill Cowher, the first thing they mention is him spitting in Hines Ward's face.
But that's all intense. And Hines, if we had Hines Ward right now in his playing precision, him on the field right now, we wouldn't have all these issues because these prima donna receivers. You know what I mean? There's no toughness.
But you know what? I've actually I agreed with you at one point, but then I sat down and thought about this, right? So, like Freight Train, for example. Now, imagine if this podcast had to get a certain amount of views for you to actually make money, right? This is your full-time gig. And then you got Bubba on here saying some outlandish shit. It's going to cause us to lose viewers, and we're not going to get as many shares. You're going to be a little annoyed, right? Like, you're taking food off my plate. Now, if you're George Pickens and you're, Deontay Johnson and you're, Freiermuth and whatever, now your paycheck is based on how well you perform because eventually your contract runs out. You might want to leave Pittsburgh. You might want to stay. But they're going to say, hey, well, look at the stats right here real fast. You didn't have many receptions. You didn't have many yards. You didn't have many touchdowns. And you go, fucking Pickett, fucking Trubisky. Did you see what I dealt with over there? Yeah. So really, you can't blame the receivers as much. There's obvious frustration.
Well, but you can't blame your whole team either.
You can't.
No. But you can't throw yourself touchdown passes unless you're Brett Favre, where he did it like once. Like you can only do that so many times.
Pickens and Dante they quit. You can't quit no matter what happens. You cannot walk on. You can't do it.
I agree,
but in Pittsburgh is so bad right now.
But you got to put that. But I put that on Tomlin because if you're a great head coach, you don't let it get that far. It doesn't ever go that far.
It's been that far though. It's been that far since.
But I'm saying, but that's on him.
Antonio Brown Facebook Live.
It's been on other scapegoats, is what Bubba's saying.
Yeah.
This year it was Canada.
100%.
Years before we scapegoated
because we are worse now without Canada. We're worse now.
No. I disagree.
Now offensively,
I disagree.
We are
statistically
we are statistically lower in points. What Canada was 16.
What you're going through is what I call the Eagles Chip Kelly era. Because first we blame Chip Kelly. Just because you fire him does not mean you get immediately better, right? I mean, you still have to do certain things. So then you got to start looking at D coordinators, offensive coordinators, and you got to start going, okay, what's my quarterback? Like, the problem with Pittsburgh is Canada was the biggest problem. I still think he was the biggest problem, just for the record. But the problem is there's so many more underlying problems that the thing is we all agreed that Canada was the biggest issue. The problem is now that he's fired,
talent.
But now that he's fired, everybody's like, wait, now we can't talk about Canada anymore. We got what we wanted. Holy shit, there's so many more problems than just Canada. And I'm finally like for a while. Oh, well, we would be better without Canada. Well, now, he's gone. We're just as bad. Okay, well, clearly there's a bigger problem. And now you're starting to notice them all because instead of grouping all of your anger at one person, now it's starting to trickle down like, holy shit, I'm actually made it 15 guys or 20 guys. Like, you all suck. Get the fuck out.
Which is absurd because when the season started, we were like, wow, we're a deep football team.
But he lost the culture. He lost the
Done.
culture and he lost the drive. And they fucking quit on Tomlin Saturday night. They quit on Tomlin. They got their fucking asses beat by the third and fourth running back. The offensive line was blowing that Larry Obajobi, who got paid $10 million, Cam Hayward, TJ Watt. Yes, that is because they're done. They're done. Even though I picked them, they're done. Yeah. The highest priced fucking defense in the NFL, and we can't stop anybody.
You're gonna have to rebuild. You're gonna have to rebuild. You're gonna
trade
start
everybody.
I mean, right now, if I'm the Steelers, and I hate to say this, I know a lot of Steelers fans don't want to see
win though.
But I know Pittsburgh doesn't want to see.
I know
as fans, you guys don't want to see TJ Watt go, but he's your biggest sell piece, right?
He's gonna go.
He might be it might be your favorite car in the driveway, but if that's the car that's worth the most amount of money and you need money now, that's what you do, right? Like
he's never getting a playoff victory.
He is, in my opinion, he is the only player in Pittsburgh I would offer a first round pick for right now, right? So if you want the most draft capital out of what you have, you have to let TJ Watt go. Either get a first-round pick and maybe another later round, or you get multiple seconds, whatever it is. You're going to have to move TJ. You're going to have to move guys that are causing cancer in the locker room, right? So, like, that's number one goal right now. You got to get your team back to being a team. Well, Deontay's a problem. Pickens is young. You can probably get a nice – I mean,
You got to start with a new damn coach, though.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. They're not going to. They're not going to do that. I mean, they've made it very clear they're not going to do that. And I mean,
and it's bleak. The future for the Steelers organization is bleak for the next 2 or 3 years.
You guys want to come back on a bit?
The funny thing is,
like, come back on in about 3 minutes.
You can talk shit about Philly, right? And I do it all the time. But like, the one thing I give us credit for, the one of very few things I give us credit for is I've always loved that we're not afraid to move the fuck on. Offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, or head coach. We will fire you quick.
I'll take you right now. I will end this show. You come on my show in like 3 minutes. I'll send the link.
But here's the thing.
Shane Peterson won a Super Bowl in 2017. You know what they did? Fired him 2 seasons later. Goodbye. See you later.
The Steelers fans.
You guys want to come on?
I'll come on. But here's the thing.
I will send a link. Okay.
Steelers fans are like this. They're like the guy in the loafers hanging out in their 1985 Corvette with the members only jacket, thinking they're still cool.
Player intro.
Save all that. Well, I don't know how to edit it.
I'll take this off the Pittsburgh show. It doesn't feel right. I'll take this off.
Well, hold on.
I'll put my Eagles jersey on.
See if I can switch it up. Fuck it. Hold on. Let me see if I can switch it up.
I've been on more Steelers shows than I belong on in a lifetime, by the way. I've been on Steelers Realm multiple times. I've come on here a million times.
I'll just cut it, and then I can do 2 shows.
I gotta take this jersey off. I feel really rude right now.
Yeah, take that fucking jersey off right now. Okay, I'm gonna hit my opening, and then I'm just gonna cut it, and then I'll just do another show.
Are you gonna send the link?
I'm gonna send the link. No, to Chris O'Hara. I'm gonna send the link to Chris. Because Chris is going to come on and bitch and talk fucking whatever he wanted to talk about. And now it's just a format where everybody can bitch. And if you guys want to roll out, you can. You know, hey, Bubba, I got to go. So we were talking.
I love how we're still live planning the show.
We're live right now planning. I don't care. I can do whatever I want to do.
This is how dysfunctional our planning is before the show.
I'm good.
I thought you were taking the shirt off, dude.
I am. Give me a fucking second.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to do this.
I don't usually do this live.
We are live, but I'm going to cut the promo right here, and I'm going to edit it and cut it so I don't have to pull it out.
That's what she said.
Don't go nowhere. That's what she said, too. Okay, here we go.
Welcome to 3 Guys in 1 Chair.
3 guys, that's right. Here we go. 3 guys in a box. We are back. This is the I'm going to change the name anyway, probably to the Black and Gold Dynasty Podcast Show or Podcast Black and Gold Dynasty Show here probably next year because it's simpler. But right now it's the Triple B Black and Gold Dynasty Show. We just ended our NFL picks. We were talking Steelers, so I brought everybody back. I'm also going to send where'd Shane go now? And then
Shane's having some issues.
So he brings
as reliable as
Philadelphia Eagle jersey on. Oh, I don't have. Okay, Shane, hold on. Let me get you.
It's better than the other. I don't have a Pittsburgh jersey. I really don't. I had one when I was younger. I outgrew it. It was a small.
Okay, I'd hook my headset up so I can hear you guys better.
No, so now we were talking. Let's go. What we were talking about before we ended that other show.
Okay,
with this show. So go ahead. Shane.
I'll start my rant. Okay, so. Go ahead. Everybody knows that high school Harrier, the guy that's 15, 25 years behind the time, is just hanging out in his members-only jacket. That's what the Steelers fans are. They remember the good old times. They remember the 70s. They hang on through the 80s, and they can't let go.
The 80s then Shane.
Yeah, they're still thinking they're awesome. They think Mean Joe Green's going to come out of retirement or something. And then the same thing is happening now. Like, this is the 80s. We're going to have to live through almost an entire decade of suck for the Steelers to rebuild. And I'm sorry to say, but that's just what we have to look forward to. And it starts with getting rid of freaking Tomlin.
This team is so easy to analyze. I didn't plan for this show at all. I mean, it didn't really have much of a chance to do so. I had to change while live. We're planning the show while live. It's a great time. No, you know what it is? It literally starts from the top down, right? I mean, it's literally from head coach. I mean, that needs to be completely re-fucking vamped. You got to really go out there and find an OC that you can actually build a new offense and a new culture around. You also have to go out and figure out your quarterback situation because Kenny Pickett's not it. Your backup and Mitch Trubisky's not it. Mason Rudolph ain't it. Then you got a running game where you have two great running backs, but neither one of them can hit their full potential because nobody's throwing the ball well. So you can't be one-dimensional. They predict the run. So you're fucked there. Your offensive line is like Swiss cheese on any given Sunday. So poor Najee, being a power back, needs some kind of fucking blocking. And the reason why, listen, Najee Harris is better than Warren. I'm tired of hearing the contrary. The reason why Warren, hold on. I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
The same problem we had in Philadelphia. If you watched DeMarco Murray in Dallas, right? They had a great offensive line. They had a great O-line who blocked really well. He was the best running back in football. He came to Chip Kelly's offense. Chip Kelly was all about speed plays. We want to move quick. We want to run fast. Offensive line spreads. They want to run him outside the tackles. He's a power back. You can't ask him to split outside the tackles. His strength is inside the numbers. The problem is when you have
the same way Najee Harris is too.
But when you have a bad offensive line, it is easier for an agile, speedier player to succeed than a power back. Why? Because you can rotate him out. Look at Christian McCaffrey. He played in fucking Carolina for like a decade, and he did well. Why? He's a smaller dude who can move quick. You can't be a power running back with a bad O-line. This doesn't work. I mean, you can ask Jerome Bettis that. Pittsburgh had a good line back in the 90s and 2000s.
Everybody welcome Chris O'Hara.
Chris,
you can bitch like everybody else is right now about the Steelers. I brought you on tonight, Chris. And Chris me and Chris have been talking for years. And Chris, you will probably agree with a lot of these guys because you actually hear it. And this is whatever you got to say about the Steelers, brother. The format is yours right now, and go ahead.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on, Bubba. I really appreciate it. It's kind of cool. I'm always sending him messages during the game constantly. Probably gets tired of his phone beeping and blowing up on him all the time. And you guys don't know, he's actually married to my cousin. So
nice.
So it's a family thing.
But I've known you for 25 years. So it's a long time. Everything you guys are always saying is all correct. And I appreciate the opportunity to come on here and talk about the Steelers. Actually, I have a really interesting observation and question for you guys. My dad actually made this comment to me the other day. Can you name one coach who came off of the Mike Tomlin coaching tree?
No.
None. There's none.
Nope.
There's zero.
I had this conversation a couple weeks ago.
It's a cactus.
Freight train. What about you?
It's a stick. It's a dead
Sorry,
stick.
I got blown. My phone got blown up. What was the question?
The question was that Chris said was.
Have you ever seen one coach come off the Tomlin tree? No.
Well, absolutely not. No.
So
that thing's barer than the Dollar General Christmas tree.
So if you think about it, he inherited an insanely good defensive coordinator, right?
Yeah.
Dick LeBeau.
Yeah.
And the only offensive coordinator that you can think of that had any success post Tomlin was Bruce Arians.
Yep.
That's it.
Well,
the rest.
Haley had some high numbers though. He saved Ben from getting killed. So it would be Haley, Bruce Arians. Other than that, everybody else is table scrap.
Yeah, and so nobody, nobody goes on to be a better coach, and he promotes these guys from within. And when it comes to the Tomlin thing, my biggest observation is I've been, over years and years, I've developed this, get rid of Tomlin, and every year it gets worse. Like we let Mike Munchak go. The offensive line has been trashed since that guy left. Change the scheme. I think the offensive line needs help, but they have shown some shades have been able to block in the run game, but these coaches are just awful, and they promote from within. They just the next guy up. They'll bring they'll promote some wide receiver coach or somebody you never heard of to be the next offensive coordinator, and it's
get me started.
When you're surrounded by mediocrity, the person teach you if they're mediocre. What do you think you're bound to be?
Yeah.
Is mediocre.
Well, that's why
Okay.
once you fire a head coach, you got to clean house. Like you got to get rid of anything that has his culture lingering around. You know, it's. I mean, my comparison always was it's like a dingleberry, right? It's still hanging around. You might have finished up, you might have walked away, but it's still lingering, right? It still lingers on.
I mean, honestly,
And
the only
that's what it
coach,
is.
the
If
only
you
coach
fire-
that can stick around is Bazooka Joe.
No.
You fire Tomlin,
get
you
rid
give
of him.
everybody else, you're
All
just as
right.
fucked. The problem is, though, if you fire Tomlin, you have to get rid of the rest of the cast. Why? That means that there's at least one or two guys out of that group that still believes in what Tomlin was doing, and they're going to stick to old habits. It'll be the same goddamn fucking problem. You got to clean house.
Yeah,
you got to wipe it down.
You know, him post game I think it was 2 games ago, and he, right after the game, and they said, well, what are you going to do? Whatever. He's like, well, this is what we do. This is who we are. And my answer immediately was, yes, what you do is lose to bad teams, and what you are is mediocre. Like that's
below mediocre, in my opinion.
They're not even mediocre, Chris. They're garbage.
Yeah, and I don't care the fact that he's never had a losing season. He also hasn't had a winning one in the playoffs in 10 years.
Sorry, that is the worst stat in NFL history to talk about. By the way, I mean, if
they talk about it all the time, though.
If your goal in life is to celebrate 8-8 and 9-7s and 9-8s and whatever, then you are in the wrong fucking business. It is impressive. Don't get me wrong. But you can't use that forever as your resume on why you should stick around. Win a playoff game. Yeah. Win a fucking playoff game.
Guys, this is like okay, you inherit Tomlin inherits a house that's a mansion with a Ferrari, a pool, clothes, all this stuff, and he's bringing home 5s and 6s. He should be bringing home 9s and 10s. So here's the thing. The standard's the standard. We are what we are. 2 5s don't equal a 10. You should be fucking dime pieces. That's the way it should be in the Steelers nation. That's the bottom line.
It just depends on how many beers you have.
But let me ask you guys, and I'll go around. Let me ask you guys, and I'll start with Freight Train and go the whole way around. Like, now is the time where Pittsburgh Steelers players go to other teams and actually produce. So the system for the Steelers aren't producing and putting people where they need to be, or they're not using it, or they're not executing right. So Freight Train, do you think it's the way that they're doing it now? Because back in the day, the only Steeler that left Pittsburgh that did any good was Rod Woodson in my eyes. Yeah, when he got that, but now it's everybody that leaves Pittsburgh. You got Spillane and at the Raiders leading the team in tackles and shit.
Yeah.
So
Bubba, remember the other really good linebacker that left the Steelers who they thought was no good and became a Pro Bowler and who's now a coach for Tennessee? The guy went to New England and was an absolute
Vrabel,
Vrabel was amazing there.
Yep.
Pittsburgh thought he was.
I just think they had so many linebackers he couldn't fit in at that time, and that's why. But
find a spot for him, man. Seriously,
I don't think this team's good enough at evaluating talent anymore.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's what it boils down to. They can't evaluate real talent anymore.
Okay, so that's bad on all angles of the Steelers organization.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the general manager down. I mean, they need to.
They just got that general manager.
Yeah,
but both of them, they're brand new.
But the problem is it's a whole culture at this point. You got to change the culture. I mean, I'm not saying as fans. I'm saying as how those coaches are working together right now, you got to blow it up and restart. You got to come up with a new offensive scheme. You have the talent. Like we all can agree. There's holes.
There's holes.
Exactly. But you got to put them in a position to succeed, right? So like you keep making these wrong reads on draft picks. You keep making the wrong reads with these fucking play calls. Like you have to at least give them a chance to be in a successful situation. I mean, you can't go out there and say, hey, we're going to have Mitch Trubisky throw the ball 25 times within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage and then say, hey, well, Pickens and Smith and Johnson, their strong suit is down the field. Well, actually make a fucking effort to throw the ball downfield then. I mean, you're not using anything. Freiermuth is one of the best tight ends. I think he could be one of the best tight ends in football at some point.
Not in Pittsburgh.
And you don't fucking use him. I mean, you got Darnell Washington, the guy you draft out of Georgia. Barely fucking use him. He's used as a blocker. Might as well make him offensive lineman while you're fucking at it.
They were looking,
it's just bad. It's the culture. It's the culture.
It's the whole
system. Scheme. It's the whole system. Everything has to change. I mean, there's enough talent there to win football games now, but not with what's going on. I mean, there's just no.
We're seeing it all around the NFL.
They all gave up.
Look at Philly. Sirianni isn't running his team like Andy Reid did.
There's no strong.
Sirianni's not running his team like Doug Peterson did. You know what I mean? Eventually you have to change that.
Kyle Shanahan didn't copy the guy before him. Andy Reid didn't go to KC and go, "Oh, I want to be as bad as everybody else was."
He's not adapting to the NFL. He's stuck in his own ways. His standard as
what you're seeing right now is you're seeing the death of the 2000s coaches, right? Like for example, Belichick has one. This might be his last year.
He's going somewhere else.
The problem is he might not coach at all anymore. To be honest with you, we'll see what happens.
He will.
But here's what happens, right? So they're all living off of prestige, right? Oh, this is what I did in this. At least, well, Bill's a little bit more relevant and recent than
he
Tomlin.
has prestige. But he could go anywhere he wants to.
But my thing is though, like what you're starting to realize is these resumes, they don't matter anymore. Like what you did 20 years ago, this is a what have you done for me lately league, right? That's what it is. I don't care what you did 15 years ago.
Not in Pittsburgh.
What have you done recently?
Not in Pittsburgh, though.
That's what my biggest downfall
talking about. In Pittsburgh, they don't give a shit.
But that's why I have hope that Tomlin doesn't have a lot of time. Anyway, here's what's happening. If you're Rooney and you see that New England moves off of fucking Belichick, right?
Not doing
you
it.
See that? No, that has to be a motivational tool right there.
He has got 1 year on the contract.
It has to be.
They're not going to get rid of him.
I don't care.
You were going to say something.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Chris, you were going to say something?
Well, no, I just wanted to comment. Like everybody's saying that the Steelers have so much talent. What are we gauging that against? Why do we think these guys are so talented? Like Freiermuth, I'll give him credit. I agree with you. I think he's one of the best tight ends in the league, or could be.
Yeah.
Deontay Johnson had one good season. Two prior seasons, too. That was one of the most drops in the league. Yep. Najee Harris had one good season. Now he runs like Franco Harris did in his last year as a pro. He's
can't move.
He can't hit the hole.
He's getting hit in the backfield. Like there was one game I was watching. Me and Bubba were messaging back and forth, and I'm like, "Yo, did you see Najee get hit 3 times before he even moved as they're getting the ball?" Yeah. I mean, you can't succeed if you can't move.
So the question is, then that becomes a coaching issue. Why do they keep putting him in there? Why do they keep starting him? Because when they put Jalen Warren in the next play, he runs for 10, 12, 13 yards.
Because speed – it's like I was saying before you came on, though. Speed backs can benefit no matter what the offensive line situation is. That's just how it is. Yeah. Speed backs are going to be able to work in a bad O-line and a good O-line.
Well, then you put him in a lot. Then you put him in.
That's why Christian McCaffrey has played so well in Carolina before. That's why you see all these speed backs like LT played behind a bad Chargers line for a long time, because you can be a speed guy and get around it. The problem is when you're a power back, you need a chance to get moving to get your power rolling. Like you can't just bounce off of people. That's not what a strong suit is. I mean, I use an example.
Not working, then stop playing it.
Yeah, no, they should probably just trade him at this point. If you're not going to use him, get rid of him.
At the end of the game, it was 2 or 3 games ago. I can't remember which one it was. They had a chance. They were still in the game. They had a chance. And on first down, instead of giving the ball to Warren and late in the game when you need yards, the first thing they do is hand off to Harris, and he loses a yard.
Like you put Najee in Philly, he succeeds. I'll bet you $1 million. You put him behind Jason Kelsey, Lane Johnson, them guys.
You put Najee anywhere besides Pittsburgh right now, he's going to
successful.
Succeed because we need it. We need a guard. We need more. Dan Moore gone. We need a tackle and we need a center. And the guards are okay, and Broderick Jones. So we're 3 out of 5. That's it. And the other day against the Colts, Najee missed the fucking hole. He missed the hole, and he could have had it.
But that's going to happen. A lot of running backs miss. I mean, a lot of.
I understand.
It's more obvious for you guys because you guys at this point are just pinpointing every fucking thing that pisses you off. Because I've been there. I've been there.
No, last year to 2 years before that, Najee didn't. We haven't had a good line since Munchak left, and Najee was getting a yard, and then his body was getting another 1.5 to 3. He was averaging 3 yards. He's not even doing that, and our line is supposed to be better this year. It's just pure. It's just execution.
It's also play calling.
The guy they got from Philly is pretty good.
Sayamalu. I like Isaac Sayamalu a lot. He was great in Philly.
But even like when they came out of, if you remember, when they came out of the bye week, and that was their first big running game they had. If you remember correctly, all the announcers were saying, "Look, they stopped doing a zone blocking scheme, and they were blocking straight ahead." Well, now they must be back to the zone blocking scheme because they're not getting
the other problem is you're one-dimensional. I mean, like the problem is you fall behind so goddamn fast. It's hard to get the run game rolling. I mean, for example, you watch any running back in a game where you're down by 17 points, they don't usually get a lot of yards. Why? It's pass happy now. And now you got to rely on guys like Mitch Trubisky or, Pickett, whatever it is, until you clean up the passing game and you can make your team a little bit more two-dimensional, then you'll open the run game back up.
Yeah.
For right now, Warren breaks off for some runs because they're like, fuck it. Like, what? It's fucking 3rd and 25. Give them 12. Fuck it. Why not? I mean, there's no fear. There's no fear of the running game in Pittsburgh.
Even at this Colts game, Tomlin had an opportunity to have Boswell kick a field goal. It was a 56-yard, and he didn't even do that. And he had poor time management because there was a minute 24. He had 3 timeouts.
Tomlin's always had bad time.
Always.
One of these worst guys at using timeouts I've ever seen in my life.
And then,
I'm sure you guys talked about this before I come on, but the whole
we talked about a lot of stuff.
Tomlin thing. But Tomlin, this is the first time I can say that I believe he's lost the locker room. He has
absolutely
no whatsoever, and he's afraid to make the move that should be made, which would drive every talking head on the planet crazy. Is I would sit George Pickens. I would sit. He doesn't block. He's lazy on routes. Yep. If you're watching him on a route, he never runs hard. The only route he runs that he has any success on is the deep route down the sideline, and that's a jump ball. It's a 50-50 jump ball.
And he didn't even jump last week.
He didn't even jump. Yeah. No, I mean, but his attitude, he's AB 2.0, right?
Yes.
Now he's worse than AB.
Without the credentials.
AB,
yeah.
AB would hustle.
AB didn't start like this. He ended up like this.
Now, give AB this.
Yeah, AB had 2 careers, pre-perfect and post-perfect.
Yeah, and he was the hardest worker, they said, ever. This guy had a bad attitude and was a problem child in Georgia, so
he's been a shitbird for a while.
Yeah, I mean, the draft is going to be interesting because they need more secondary. Half the secondary they got, the old guys they've signed are all crap.
Oh, it's bad. It is bad,
and they're all hurt now. Right now, they're beat up at safety and they're beat up at inside linebacker. So this week, oh boy,
because Kazi's out for the rest of the year. That hit. Yeah. That hit on the Colts against Michael Pittman. He's out for the whole year now. He's suspended. And if we ever get into playoffs, I don't think I don't know. I mean, I'm a diehard.
I hope they lose out and it proves the theory that Tomlin sucks. But the draft's gonna be interesting because they're gonna need wide receivers
and a center.
They're gonna need a center. They're gonna need some more defensive secondary. But if
those are all that's penthouse dream, outhouse budget. Those are all very, very high draft pick type of.
But let me ask you. No, there's some good. There's actually some pretty solid wide receivers later in the middle round.
There's a lot of.
You can get a wide receiver in the 7th round.
Yeah, you can get them like.
And as long as you can make a wide receiver good, whereas other positions are a little bit harder. I'm just
right. That dude from the Rams. Nobody heard of that motherfucker.
Yeah, Nakua. Yeah, Puka Nakua. Yeah,
he's lighting them up.
I mean, let me ask you this though. If there's, I'm not saying that you go high for it. I'm saying like 5th round. Do you take a shot at a quarterback in the draft in the 5th round if you like the fucking prospect himself?
There's guys they're talking about. There's
a pretty deep. I mean, I'm not saying they're all going to be elite, but there's actually some pretty deep talent at quarterback.
There's good quarterbacks in the draft this year.
They're not going to be the most talked about guys, but there are going to be some really good quarterbacks that do drop. I mean, there's so many of them this year. People like May out of North Carolina. They like all these big names. Like they like what's his name, Michael Penix out of Washington. They love all these guys. There's going to be some decent, maybe not elite right away, maybe some projects. Yeah. There's going to be some decent QBs that fall in rounds 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Well, what will be really interesting is what happens this week. If Rudolph plays well this week, and maybe they say, okay, hey, you know what? If he plays well and they lose, let's run this scenario. Rudolph plays well and they lose, okay? And Pickett's at practice today, but they don't have a chance to make the playoffs. Do you sit Pickett, let him get healthy, run Rudolph the rest of the year, dump Trubisky in the offseason, and like you just said, let's take another quarterback to be a prospect. Pickett's going to get another year. That's going to happen.
No, 100%. By no means am I saying you draft somebody in the 5th round and you bench Pickett. No. I'm just saying bring in a prospect that you like, that you think you can kind of build around, and just kind of give him some time.
And from what I understand, I think Trubisky's contract is not a detriment if they cut him. I don't think they're on. It'll
be I think 6, maybe 7, because they signed him for another year next year.
Yeah, but it's not as bad as it could have been.
But actually, Chris and everybody, the strongest arm is actually Mason. Mason has the strongest arm.
Yeah. Doesn't always matter though.
They're not going to get rid of Kenny. No. Kenny's going to have that 1 year, and if we could get a good quarterback in the 4th and 5th round, I would take that. But we need a lot of help and a lot of. Well, first off, we need good. We need a good young offensive-minded coach, and I don't think anybody's coming in.
No, it's never.
Tomlin leaves, they're not going to stick around, because if he has one more year and he just says, you know what, I'm retiring, and that's it. Like, if he was smart, which he's not going to be like, at the end of this year, I'm done. He's not doing that because he's got one more year. He's not going to, and they're going to keep him. So we're going to get the guys we have now as offensive coordinators. That's who we're getting.
And the problem is, all they're doing is taking the offensive scheme they already ran and just trying to call different plays. So the scheme is bad. Like, you look at all these other offensive minds and you watch all these other games and you look at the speed at which they play and you see, clear out routes, all this other stuff. I said to Bubba the other day on the one game, I'm like, so it was 2 games ago when they had a chance and it's 3rd and 2 and we throw an incomplete pass. And then it's 4th and 2 and they throw the ball down the field.
Oh, that was ridiculous.
Because I started messaging
I
Bubba
watched it.
2 days. Next 2 days, I messaged him for all these other games. I'm like, oh my God, did you just see that? This crazy thing just happened. It was 3rd and 2 and they threw a 4-yard pass and got a first down. Like, this has happened for years. I mean, I know I would give Big Ben credit when he would do it, because usually they were in a position where they were winning the game, or you knew he could bring you back and he would take that shot. But it doesn't work anymore. Just get the effing first down. Just throw the ball 4 yards, get the first down, and keep going. Not on 4th and 2, throw it 35 yards downfield.
No, that's like playing Madden football.
I don't care, Mitch Trubisky, if you walked up there and saw man coverage on the outside. You're not the guy who can pass. He's just not.
He is so bad. Even when he had like Allen Robinson, when he had him in Chicago, you'd figure those guys would like hook up like they would in Pittsburgh, but that ain't even the case. Like, he went to the Pro Bowl. Mitch went to the Pro Bowl with that second.
Mitch had that one good year in Chicago. He did have one good year. And
Allen had like 1,000 yards and like 10 touchdowns.
He wasn't great with the Rams though. So
well, he's older now, but realistically, and I know I'm getting off. We're just talking about like clearing house, which they need to clear house. And we've been talking about it for however long we've been talking about it. Like, all the receivers right now in a scheme and whatever, to me, they're just not worth it. And Tomlin doesn't have the balls to sit Pickens on the bench right now. He doesn't have the balls to do it, and he won't, because he's always.
They're all buddies. That. He's a buddy guy. He's a buddy ball guy.
He's always
the problem is, but see, if you ask around the league who the best coaches are, it's the ones that can be supportive when necessary, but also kick you in the ass and say, "Step it the fuck up or get off." I mean, it's that simple.
That's why Cowher was better.
I'm going to give you guys a funny thing right here. I'm not wearing a headset. You guys are. I'm Mike Tomlin. I shouldn't be wearing a headset because I don't talk to anybody anyway. He never talks to anybody on his headset. Why does he even wear one? He doesn't have a paper in his hand.
That's good. I like that, Chris. That's a good analogy.
He's got nothing in his hand. He stands there with his arms crossed. His headset's on. He talks to nobody.
You know what I hate? You know what I hate the most? And I'm not a Steelers fan, but you know what I hate the most about coaches, and I can't stand it about him? No emotion shown whatsoever. That pisses me off.
No.
I don't know about you
guys. This last press conference, you could tell a little bit was starting to crack a little bit.
But you know what, though? For all these years of being mediocre, I want to see a reaction out of you. I want to see how you're feeling. Because, I mean, as a fan, you're throwing shit. You're screaming. You're pissed. Yeah. You waste your money on these fucking tickets. You buy these fucking jerseys for this fucking guy to suck, right? I want to see you be mad. Tomlin. So I know that I can be validated in how mad I am. Like, the one thing I'll give Sirianni real fast as a credit. You know how Sirianni's feeling at all times. I mean, he's on the sideline flapping his wings.
Dan Campbell. That guy.
Yeah, another guy. Because there's so much passion. First of all, your players live on that. They love when they see. They even say AJ Brown on them guys say it is so easy to get motivated because Sirianni is the most pumped guy on the sideline at all times.
Well,
he's talking to the fans. He's talking shit to rival fans. He's flapping his wings around. I mean, he's yelling shit. He's celebrating. He gets mad too, though. He yells at players. He's throwing shit. I love that because it tells me that he gives a fuck and it makes me feel better. Like, okay, we're playing like shit. Why is Tomlin standing like this? No, fucking yell at somebody, walk around, let your fucking player know who's boss, and do something. I hate that shit. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. It reminds me of Andy Reid and McNabb when I was growing up. Andy Reid was the same way. Always had the dumbass straight face on. Face was always beat fucking red that you could tell he was like holding in curse words. Hate that shit. Show me how you feel. Let me know that you're mad.
Sirianni got that at IUP.
Well, Sirianni is Philadelphia, by the way. There's no other team that makes sense. I mean, he is Philadelphia.
Yeah, but
I mean, he's literally Philadelphia.
Yeah, I mean, he did. That's right. He did come from IUP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, he
Yeah,
did.
wow. That's crazy.
His brother coaches a school out in PA too. His brother's a coach out in
if we're
William
talking,
and Mary or some shit.
So here's another theory. So if the Steelers say if Tomlin's going to stay, which Bob, I agree with, he's probably going to end up being there one more year, and maybe Omar Khan or the Rooney say you're not picking the offensive coordinator, we are.
Not
and
gonna
there's
happen.
a bunch of great guys.
You got to get rid of Tomlin if you're going to do that.
Yeah, but I'm saying, what if they say, look, we're going to take that out of your control and we're going to pick the offensive
That would be
coordinator.
great, but
I'm not going to allow it.
But who are the candidates? And there might be one already in the building for Pitt. Isn't Signetti still there?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think
they fired him.
They fired him.
But the only reason I say that is because he's with Pickett while Pickett was in college. And that could be a really good fit for him to help Pickett. I'm just saying that could be a good fit for him.
His brother's coaching at Indiana, the Hoosiers now.
Head coach at Indiana Hoosiers, and then
Or would you make him the quarterback coach?
That's what I was going to say. You don't just push him right to OC. You put
coach.
him a quarterback coach first.
Yeah.
Prove that you can handle
like,
my quarterback, and then we'll worry about the offense.
I got some. Todd said the Rooneys don't fire coaches, not in their nature. Tomlin will just go his own way. Mr. K, thanks for tuning in. Hope everything's good, brother. And Todd said Peyton went off on Russell Wilson. Must have been recently. Mark Ballor, thanks for tuning in. Lori Lash, thank you guys for tuning in. So, yeah, I mean, and this game against the Colts, now I'm switching it up a little bit. Like the Steelers defense, 14 straight runs with third and fourth string running backs, and Sermon, 88 yards. They just beat and we were up 13-0. And then that was it. That was all. It felt like someone popped the fucking air out of a balloon. Poof. And then Tomlin didn't have Boswell kick that field goal and no time management. And then the second half was just out of control. And that's another rookie coach that Tomlin lost to.
Okay, Bubba.
But the one thing I will say.
Hold on, think about this. The offense has played half a season. The defense has played a season and a half.
Yeah. One thing I will say. When you talk about the Colts are sneakily better than what they are on paper. I don't care if it's backups or not. So a little bit of fun fact as far as chemistry goes, which chemistry is huge in sports, right? So Shane Steichen's the offensive coordinator for Philadelphia last year. Gardner Minshew was a quarterback in Philadelphia last year as a backup, and Trey Sermon was actually a third-string running back in Philadelphia last year.
Well, there you go.
A lot of the time, Minshew was running with him in practice, when they're doing second strings, whatever. There is chemistry there. Not to mention, Steichen already had attachments to the Colts, so he already had some relationships over there.
Their offensive line was blowing that defensive line 3 yards back.
Quentin Nelson's one of the best. He's one of the best offensive linemen in football. I mean, Quentin Nelson.
I mean, Cam Hayward's probably going to retire.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a given.
I mean, he was getting blown out of the water, and he's like the only leader left over. There's no leadership. Like I think I heard somewhere someone said TJ Watt. I don't even. It might have been you, Rich, or somebody said something about TJ Watt.
He's not a leader.
That might have been you, Shane. Somebody said that today to me.
He's not.
He's not
an in-your-face kind of. Micah Fitzpatrick is the guy you would want to keep on your team as a leader. He'll give shit a little bit, but I mean,
he's out. He's not playing.
But he's not playing. Yeah, him not being there
doesn't make a difference.
But
they played like shit even with him.
Yeah, he's the only one I think that has leadership character. You know
I don't think there's anybody on that defense. I would trade every single one of them, and I'd start anew.
Yep.
And that's sad because TJ Watt is the Steelers' all-time sack record, but he's never going to go anywhere because of what we got. He's going to want to.
The rebuild's going to take too long for him to get successful. It's take
he'll be 33, 34. He can go somewhere else. Hey, God bless him if he gets.
He can go win right now. I mean, he can go win right now,
and then just blow it up. And start
there's plenty of high caliber teams that will offer a first round pick. It's going to be like 20s. The pick will be in the 20s somewhere. But there are plenty of high end teams come the off season that rather than having to draft and build one up, will trade for TJ Watt. And they'll give you a premium for him.
And like you said, Minka hasn't done any. He has not a one INT all year. It's not worth the money that we should have drafted somebody now instead of trading for him. And we should have did something. We should have got a center.
Yeah, Bubba, but give credit where credit's due. They did something the Steelers never do. They went out and they got a quality safety when they needed it. And in the preseason, we thought they were going to be the shit. We thought they were going to be the next thing, next coming of, I don't know. I'm just so disgusted.
Nah, I mean, the problem with Mick is in order to be a leader on defense, you got to make plays to spark some motivation.
Well, yeah.
He looks like he's getting worse by the game, not by the year. He looks like he's getting worse. I mean, I loved Mick in Miami. I thought he was going to be a great asset. I thought he was going to be a great asset, and he was. When he first got to Pittsburgh, he played really fucking well.
No, I'm just saying, Rick, he's the closest thing they have.
But that's not saying much. That's
all they exactly.
That's like me saying the closest thing you have to a quarterback right now is fucking Mason Rudolph. What the fuck does that mean?
That's true. Yeah.
but honestly, Mason was very when I was there against the Detroit Lions, he actually had him won, and if it wasn't for Dante and Freiermuth fumbling the ball, he would actually won that game. That was not on him. And the fumbles cost him.
He has a winning record, and he has a positive touchdown to interception ratio.
Yes, he does.
So I want to go back. I want to say something, but where I would disagree with you, Rich, is I think Minka is just having a bad year. I think he's having an off year. Okay, let's look at it. He was hurt. Injuries. Okay, he's got like 60 tackles. I just looked at the stats the other day. And statistically, the Steelers are right in the middle right now, and I'm not saying that's great, but until last game, they were, I think, in the top 5 in run defense. So until the last game, they've been shutting the run down. They've given up passes all year. They're playing too much, in my opinion, too much zone. It's a lot of bend but don't break. They have actually one of the best statistical red zone defenses in the league. And Joey Porter Jr. is an animal. He's top. He's top 5.
I agree.
But you know what? But I can't give, and I'm not trying to be a dick when I say this, but I can't give Minka too much credit for tackles. I'm going to tell you why. When your corners get burnt as often as these corners are being burnt, and when these teams against you are running all over you, and you're the last line of defense to fucking tackle somebody, of course, I mean, it's never a good sign, by the way. When your safety leads your team in tackles, never a good sign. Never a good sign. Typically, think about it. The average NFL team over the last 10 years, their leading tackler is typically, not always, typically a linebacker. Why is that? Because you don't want your safety and your corner. Like most corners average what, 30 tackles a season, maybe 40? Because they're not supposed to make 80 tackles a year.
The leading tackler on the Steelers is a linebacker.
Yeah, as it should be.
Okay.
As it should be.
And the reason Minka has as many tackles as he has is because they play zone too much. They play zone constantly, and they're getting lit up all the time. You watch guys run out and just lay down in the middle of the zone. And I'm not saying that the dude from that they got from the Buffalo, I can't remember his name.
Roberts.
No.
Levi Wallace.
Levi Wallace is trash. Peterson is old. Joey Porter Jr. right now is one of the top 5 shutdown corners in the league. He ain't getting burned by anybody. That's not happening. And they've got, but again, when you go back to something you said a little bit while ago, Bubba, look, Cam Sutton. Why did they get rid of him? The guy's a stud in Detroit.
I don't know why.
Who's the guy that we got rid of? He plays for Baltimore.
We got rid of Steven Nelson, and he's starting down in Texas.
Yeah, Steven Nelson, the guy in Baltimore. He just played the other night. Had a huge play for Baltimore. And the guy in Cincinnati. Who's the guy over in Cincinnati?
Oh, Mike Hilton.
Mike Hilton.
Yep.
They've let excellent guys go for no reason. Defensive backs that made no sense.
That would have been great on the Steelers. And like I said, everybody left Pittsburgh actually playing better.
Was an animal the year they let him go.
You know, I could get hired by the Steelers as a consultant. All I'd have to add to my resume is I'm blind to talent. You know, and they'll be like, oh, yeah, Shane, come on. Yeah. All you got to do is pass some good guys on to other teams. Fantastic.
But it's never been like that before. This has never been like this, ever. In Steelers, when they left Pittsburgh, Chad Brown left in the 90s, did a little bit with Seattle. Like I said, Rod Woodson.
Yeah, but they were at the end of their career. Kevin Green, they were all like this twilight years. You're not getting the bang for the buck for them.
Hey, we did let Bush go, though, right?
That was the only thing. Kenny Mayne says, I just want to see them win. I witnessed firsthand a loss to the Pats and the Cardinals. Oh, God bless you. This is a lost team, and when they called the defense on the field against the Pats, I knew 5 players. They messed up letting Flores go, which is, yes, they did do that. That was a mess up. But they got to play Cincinnati at 4:30. Cincinnati has nobody except for Chase. Jamar is a little injured. Other than that, they are going at a fine tooth. And I picked the Steelers, and I'm going to pick Pittsburgh because I am. But they are in a world of shit because if Mason plays, hopefully they don't play Kenny the rest of the year.
Yeah, and so I'm pretty sure I just saw the report a little bit ago. Chase, their top 2 wide receivers are out. Chase is out, and the other guy's out.
Oh, T. Higgins. Tyler Boyd.
No, there's another guy that's out. There's 2 guys that are out that are their big offensive guys. One of them, Chase, is out, I believe.
Oh wow.
I saw that. Of course, you have these reports. Who knows? But
right.
So they're going to get killed by tight ends in the middle of the field, though. That's where it's going to happen.
Yeah, because we have no. Who's
going to play safety? Who's going to play safety this week? Number 17.
I have no idea because Minka is out. And Trenton Thomas, who was actually playing, is unlikely to play Saturday. So I don't know who they're getting unless they got Jalen Elliott. Yeah, Thompson is out, and I think they signed Jalen Elliott to the practice squad, so he'll probably be starting. So we're going to get smoked. And then Walker, the linebacker, is garbage. And the only good thing is that we're playing at home. If we were playing in Cincinnati, it'd be really, really bad.
Is Mac even was he even on the field this last week?
No, I'm not sure. Because the Steelers.
Blake Martinez didn't play bad. I mean, they've signed 2 guys. But he's something. He's a guy with experience in the middle of the field, right? You know what I mean?
Todd says Chase is out, bad shoulder.
Well,
Rich said position is to succeed. Go ahead, Rich.
I mean, just to point out, I heard the injury comment. I mean, my computer's about to die here in a second, so I'm going to finish up here quick. So, for example, Jamar Chase has not practiced, just so you know. So he's most likely going to be out. That being said, there's plenty of time for him. They could practice him for 1 day and he'll play. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Aside from that, I think he's out.
As of now,
but Joey Porter Jr. would be on Chase.
They're saying Chase is going to be a game time decision.
He'll be on Higgins if Chase is out.
But everybody else on their injury report is full practice as of today. So everybody other than Chase is full practice. Look at Pittsburgh. Pickett, as of today, limited practice.
Yep.
Trenton Thompson, defensive back, did not practice at all. Let me see here. Najee Harris, full practice, but he was do not practice for Monday and Tuesday. So there's definitely some bang-up stuff going on there. Elijah Riley, the defensive back as well, another defensive back hurt.
And Freiermuth was banged up,
He's back to full practice, but he was limited as of yesterday. Minka Fitzpatrick has not practiced at all with the knee. Isaac Salamalu just came back to practice limited today. He did not practice at all yesterday. Broderick Jones was limited in practice yesterday. Freiermuth was limited in practice yesterday. Hayward was limited. Now, they're all full practice as of today, but there are a lot of concerns about some of them guys either not going to go, and from what I'm reading here, could be on snap counts. So while your injury report's not necessarily out, you might see some snap counts for Sayamalu.
Yeah, because tomorrow
snap counts for Freiermuth.
Tomorrow is different than
counts
today.
For Hayward.
Yeah.
Yeah, every day is different. So, I mean, again, they could all be 100% come Sunday, or they could not fucking be good at all, or they might re-aggravate something, whatever it may be.
Right.
Like, I never go off of the practice status just because you could say full practice for 3 days and they might go back to the initial diagnosis from Monday and say, hey, we didn't practice him for a reason and we're not going to put him in. So either way, they're expecting between 5 to 6 Steelers to either be out of this game or to be on a snap count come this weekend. So my biggest concern is, who the fuck is playing at this point? Freiermuth is going to be limited. Who knows? He takes one shot the wrong way. You might jeopardize him longevity. Not a good idea. Whether you make playoffs or not, you don't fucking jeopardize your young talent. I would actually probably just sit him in this situation just because of what's going on. I mean, Sayamalu, he's limited. He's kind of banged up.
Herbig, you put Herbig in. Hey, man.
But these are some of your biggest pieces, though, that we're talking about. So while they might miss out on Jamar Chase, they still have plenty of other talent around, whereas you guys are having half your fuck. How many guys do you have in the secondary? You already got 3 guys on the fucking.
We don't have any. I can't name.
You got
anybody.
3 guys. You got 3 guys in limited or lower status.
They're calling Troy Polamalu to come in. I'm telling you, we don't have anybody, and
he's making too much money on Head and Shoulders commercials. He ain't coming back.
This is the worst. This is the worst injuries on our defense in such a long time. Now it's just decimated, and like the hourglass has gone from 12 o'clock. We're not getting what the luck of the draw. We're not getting a luck of the draw.
Yep.
There you go. Merrill Reese and Mike Quick. There you go. But hey, real quick, I'm going to do, I'm going to do little picks here. I'm going to give the Steelers, my score will be, 17-13 Pittsburgh. And Rich, give your score real quick, and then we're going to.
I'm taking Cincinnati 24-13. I mean, my problem with Pittsburgh is, I think you guys can hold them down a little bit. Yeah, I mean, they might not even score 24. Maybe it's 17-13 or 21. My problem is coming into it. I don't know where you're getting these points from. I mean, that's my biggest concern is,
Right.
I mean, can you hold the ball? I mean, the reason why I'm giving 24 to Cincinnati is with the lack of movement with the ball that offense has been showing lately. How often is Pittsburgh's defense out there with all these injured guys? Cincinnati is definitely going to put points on the board as far as my expectation
Jake Browning threw for 324 yards last week, 2 touchdowns, and they had to win that game, and they won it.
And he played against a decent Brian Flores Minnesota defense.
Yeah.
So my concern is you're playing a Steelers defense that's super, super limited, a team that cannot keep time of possession to save their goddamn lives. Rudolph is not playing in a while. Who knows where he's at? We don't know how he's going to play. Even if Pickett comes in, we don't know where he's at. He hasn't played in a little while. My concern is the Steelers can't win time of possession. The defense is super, super banged up. If it wasn't already before, it's way banged up now. Right. If Browning wants a nice way to make himself look even better, this is the week to do it. I just don't see Pittsburgh.
Well, also Cincinnati got something to play for because they're in a higher spot because we're
8-6.
Right.
Well, you guys
are
11th. Well, that's
11th now.
There's motivation. They're 8-6. You guys are 7-7. Yeah. This is everything for Cincinnati. This is everything for you guys. But I just don't know if there's enough talent in Pittsburgh to steal that momentum away from Cincinnati. Again, would I love to see Pittsburgh win? Sure. I just don't know if the Cards are in that direction.
Right.
Should be 9-5.
It should be. Shane, what about you? What's your score? Before we get out of here.
Boswell's going to kick either 2 or 3 field goals, so let's just say 9 points there. Mason Rudolph will lock into 1 touchdown, give us some sort of tingly, happy feeling.
I think he'll throw better than Mitch. I bet.
Yeah, he will. We'll get a touchdown. So 1 touchdown. So what's that? 16 points. So 16. Yep. And I think they're going to have 28. So I think they're going to lose, but. It'll be enough to make us not be completely demoralized, but be so sad that we'll be here next week.
I'm already demoralized. I'm just taking them because I'm a Steeler podcast and I ain't never going to go against them.
Yeah, but you know what? If they score a touchdown, how happy would you be seeing Mason Rudolph actually move the ball a little bit? But anyways, that's what I'm thinking.
I got Kenny Main said Najee's trash. Todd said the Steelers 17-15 Bengals get a safety. Chris Elliott took the Steelers 13-10. And Chris, I'm going to give you the last say. Who you taking and what's your score?
I like his 16. I like that. Probably 3 field goals and a touchdown. I'm gonna go, and I hate to say it, but I'm a realist and I'm an honest guy.
I know you are.
I'm gonna go 27-16 Bengals. I just don't. I think because the Steelers' defense is wide open in the middle. I don't think it's going to go to the Steelers. I think Rudolph's going to play well. I think they might be able to move the ball. The Cincinnati defense isn't anything great to get excited about. But the Steelers' defense is just so decimated. I don't think they're going to be able to stop that pass game. I think, and Mixon's going to run for 100 yards. It's going to happen.
Well, I can't. I don't have no say. I don't even have a good argument. That's what I mean. It's terrible. Not even a good argument. But hey, Chris, thanks for coming on, man. And
anytime, man. This was fun. I appreciate it. Anytime. I'd love to do it again.
Yeah, Rich, your expertise and knowledge is worldwide, brother. And I know we extended our show.
I wish I got paid like it.
I'm working on it. I want us to get paid. Me and Shane are gonna talk about how we can do this next year and get it to where we need to. Shane, as always, thank you. But before we get out of here,
tell my cousin, hey.
I will tell her that. Before we get out of here, Rich, do you got anything you want to promote before we get out of here, sir?
Nah, man. Just the Eagles better stop playing like dog shit. I want to promote Nick Sirianni. If you somehow see this fucking show, because you seem to watch every podcast in Philly, do me a favor, just run the fucking football. Thank you. That's all I got to say. That's all I have.
How about you, Shane?
Hey, tomorrow night I'll be on the Big 12 Fan Zone, and that's going to be 8 o'clock.
Really excited about that show.
Yeah, I am. It's just this is exhausting. This talking about the Steelers. My gosh.
I know.
And I'll be a little peppier tomorrow, but we'll be talking about Big 12 sports. A lot of transfers within the conference itself. It's like the game Skippo with cards. It's crazy. Like hand your cards to the left, hand your card to the right. Anyways, 8 o'clock tomorrow. We'll be there. It'll be about 40 minutes of crazy college shit.
Crazy college shit. All right. Thanks, Shane. Hey, Todd said Mason goes for 259, runs for 35, 2 touchdowns. Kenny says 31 to 13, 31 Steelers, 13 Bengals. They have too much for the Steelers to handle. Wait, It's 31-13 Bengals. They have too much.
I was like, what in the
I had to
fuck
reread
is
that.
Is that Benjamin again? Is that Benjamin guy?
No, Benjamin always takes the Steelers.
62-13 Steelers win. That's something he would say.
Kenny Mayne took the big one, 31-13 Bengals. Todd said, great show as always, guys. Thanks for entertaining. Thank you guys for always tuning in. Craig's Merry Christmas. Thank you. This is the last show before Christmas because the Triple B Experience Friday night is off on till next year. But everybody, we'll be back next Wednesday for our pick show and our Steelers show. We will split it up this time. We won't combine it. But you're going? Oh, Kenny's going Saturday. Well, cheer.
You never know what's going to happen on the Triple B Experience.
You never know. You never know.
Don't make any promises that we're going to split them. We have no fucking idea.
I put them together.
Never planned.
This is never planned. Okay. So everybody, thank you for tuning in. Merry Christmas to everybody. Go Steelers. I'll see everybody next week. Thank you and good night.
See you,